Hello there, my name is Pelmo Tlhabane. Welcome back. So it is true, lying is not a criminal offense, but lying under oath, that one is a criminal offense. I've been thinking about that because as I kept following the cross-examination of the police officer that transported accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, to Colonel Rapadu for the alleged statement to be taken, I've kept thinking to myself, somebody has to be lying between the accused and this witness. One of them has to be lying because literally their version of events couldn't be more different. They couldn't be more different, but they are supposed to be talking about the same day. They are supposed to be talking about the same version of events.
I am woman, I am fearless, I am sexy, I'm divine, I'm unbeatable, I'm creative, honey, you can get in line.
You know, we have to appreciate the burden of responsibility that sits on the judge, Ratamo Kgatleng, on this ongoing trial to find the killers of Senzo Meyiwa. You know, as he sits on that chair every day and he listens to many witnesses as they are being introduced, and everyone comes with their own version of events. And his job is to navigate through all of that within the boundaries of the law and then deliver a fair outcome, hopefully. I remember a couple of weeks ago when he was delivering a ruling on the admissibility of the recording that was secretly taken by Magistrate Cronier. I felt like his energy was very different. He seemed very careful, reading through those many pages that he kept going through. And he was drinking water. Like with every sentence, he was drinking water. Well, somebody else might feel like that's what happens when you have been talking for a long time. You get past and you have to keep drinking water. But I remember going through the live comments. You know, the live comments, they take a life of their own. And somebody wrote, "The judges that are zailing today." that made me, yeah, that made me laugh. But at the same time, I was like, shame, man. This is very serious. Very serious. This officer, Logan Jonathan, was allegedly one of the officers that escorted accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, to Colonel Rapadu for his alleged statement of confession to be taken. So, you know, my lie detector red flag immediately flew high when the advocate Mgomezulu said to this witness, "When you came up to the podium, my client called me and said, when I see this man, I feel like crying after the way he beat me up. I'm traumatized." Apparently that's what Bongani said. And then this witness, Logan Jonathan, said, "My lord, I had never met this accused before." So I'm like, who is lying here between this accused man and the witness? Definitely one of them is. How does one say, when I see this man, I feel like crying, he beat me up so bad? And then the other one says, I had never met this man before the day that I transported him to Colonel Rapadu. It's too contradictory. It's too contradictory. So according to Mgomezulu, Officer Jonathan and the others drove the accused to an open area next to a dumping site where they were joined by Brigadier Ginda. They carved him to a steel pole nearby, and then they proceeded to assault him. They poured water on him. They even used a plastic bag to cover him or suffocate him. And allegedly, they even used some electric device to electrocute him. This is a lot of detail for somebody to just make up from scratch. It's a lot of detail. Maybe he did embellish it to benefit his defense story, but I doubt he made everything up. I doubt. And again, the accused also apparently told his defense lawyer that he did not sign the documents while he was in the confession room. He signed those when they were out there at the dumping site where they had transported him, and he was allegedly being assaulted. After they assaulted him, that's when they handed him the documents for him to sign. And apparently, Rapadu, the officer that is supposed to be the one that had taken the second confession, was also a part of the assault crew that was assaulting the the accused number 2. So if indeed Rapadu was one of the people that assaulted accused number 2, are we expecting him to say, yes, I've seen this man before, he was brought to me for a statement? No, I don't think so. Are we expecting him to say, yes, he looked like he was assaulted before he came up to me for a statement? I don't think so, because that will implicate him possibly. I do wonder what Baloy's end game is, actually. But I guess maybe he's building up to him bringing in Ginda, who seems to have been the mastermind at every turn. But at this point, I don't see how one more cop's testimony is really going to fundamentally sway the odds. Yeah, the only cop that seems to matter in this seems to be Ginda. He seems to have been the mastermind behind quite a lot of things. Apparently, he was told that the 5 accused were in Fort Loras partying and dancing on the day that the soccer star was killed. And then he decided he was going to conduct his own investigation, which he apparently did, but decided he was going to drop. Now he comes up multiple times when arrangements were made to take the accused to go and confess. He's coming up quite a number of times. He's the one instructing people to come and transport him. He's also coming back up when the accused are being assaulted and tortured into opting for a confession. So really, he's the one that the court needs to hear from at this point. Any other officer that was standing outside the confession room, walking the accused to the car, helping him drink water, I don't think those ones are necessary at this point. I'm hoping Baloy is not bringing any more officers except for Geninda. Well, lastly, the only point that the defense brought in, and I felt like it was very weak and didn't quite land, was when Advocate Mshololo was trying to imply that the manner in which the officers escorted the accused were dressed was intimidating and induced fear in the accused, heavily armed. At this point, I did wonder, is there a different uniform that is used when officers are escorting an accused person? Only for it to be clarified that the Metro Police officers that were actually escorting the accused, they were in uniform, normal police uniform, and that is how they are expected to be dressed when carrying out their duties. So I struggled to get the point that Mshololo was trying to make. Was she expecting now for these people on that day to take off their rifles and put them away? I'm actually very interested in hearing the version of events as narrated by Ginda. That's the one that I'm waiting for. I'll see you again very soon, guys. Take care of yourself until I see you again. Bye-bye.